Ranvir. But look, let's look at that graphic again, because it's very nice to be here with your brother during the jury.
Yeah, and if you ask military leaders, we have military leader on the programme later on. No military leader would have suggested that you leave in this way, because it puts not only, you know, Afghan people in fear of potential. You know, there is talk of there potentially being an ISIS attack at the airport, imminent, potentially. And at the same time, they've got to be protecting women and children and yet still be sort of ready to pull the trigger at any moment. Let's bring in... You've started filming it, haven't you, already? It's
a lot of chat.
Yes, so then, like, because the questions have got to be so crisp, so quick.
Yeah.
Because is it? Well, you are. But apparently, you have to rein the friendliness in.
Good question, yeah.
Aren't they now?
Absolutely.
I mean, quizzes have always been about to stop anybody from leaving. We don't want to encourage terrorism in our country. We want to talk internationally. Can they have changed that much?
You've just...
Great term, isn't it, for the Taliban? Who are they?
Good morning, Britain. It's just gone 6:30, and welcome to the programme.
Would you like me to introduce myself to you, Richard? I know you've had a many.
It's hard because I've co-presented with so many people in the mere 4 days that I've been here.
I don't feel that there you
go. No, of course, in terms... I've been
ranking... What are you writing down?
I've just been... These are my ratings of the four of you. So, in terms of my favourites.
Do you have... You've got favourites, have you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
What names? Listen, we're only 2 minutes into the show, so what is this?
It's actually, you're right. You're right.
The jury's still out. What?
Yeah, I think so. Friendliness, coffees, and how often they say quite nice things about me.
Yeah. Great question, Richard. Do you want to do that throughout the show? Great point. I'll do that a lot for you.
Now, I'll tell you what I've enjoyed being on air with is Nadine Batchelor-Hunt, who is joining us. It's so complex, and there are people now who are going to be left behind. And there is part of me that I don't know what the answer is, but the idea that after the 31st of August, we've gone completely...
Journalist and presenter Niloufar Hedayat, who was born in Afghanistan, migrated to the UK, was down the line. Still to come, comedy legend Harry Enfield joins us live in the studio. That's after 8:30. He's taking the Windsors to the stage, isn't he?
Great,
it's great stuff. Right, you're watching Good Morning Britain on ITV.
It is competition time, and Andy Peters is driving somewhere for us this morning. I hear he's not very far, and I find it awkward holding this. So
hang on, can I have a look?
Oh, look, it's disappeared. Yeah, of course you can.
This is lovely.
Yeah, it's not that lovely.
Where are you on it? Oh, there you are, on the back.
It's Andy brought it up on Friday. It's the one that I prematurely left that show, and the reasons we don't need to discuss.
No.
Ranvir.
Do you? It's quite impressive, that.
I don't look different.
You don't really look that different.
Well, except that I look old. There's just something about it that makes me feel awkward.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It's fine.
A little bit sweaty palm.
Let's
take a look at the weather, shall we? Laura's in... Yes, I am. Sorry. I've been told my top's a bit weird this morning. I'm going to keep pulling at it. Sorry. Laura is in Warwickshire this morning.
Good morning, Britain. It has just gone 5 minutes past 7.
British forces have evacuated almost 6,000 people from Afghanistan in the last 10 days. The operation is said to be gathering pace despite harrowing scenes at Kabul airport, which have led to the deaths of another 7 civilians.
Boris Johnson will urge President Biden to extend his end of August deadline for the airlift at an emergency G7 summit tomorrow.
On Good Morning Britain, find out why comedy royalty Harry here.
We also have Pen Farthing and his wife together.
Yes, now you had an extraordinary interview with Pen out in Kabul, was he? In Kabul? Yeah.
We spoke to him on Wednesday and Friday last week. On Wednesday, he hadn't got his wife out. By Friday, he had. She's got back to Norway. He's still in Kabul. We're going to speak to them.
The Taliban had just been outside his door when he spoke to you on Friday.
It was really, really extraordinary.
Yes.
I couldn't even believe I was talking to someone who just had the Taliban out their door. But as he joined us, he said his heart was still racing because they'd been there and they just left, and he still came on the television and he still spoke to us. And he's enormously angry at what is happening and going on. But we'll hear from both Pen. If you've followed the show in the last few days, then I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear that we're going to speak to Pen and his wife together.
Yes, she's now in Norway, isn't she?
She is in Norway.
Made it
so from Oslo and Kabul, we'll speak to them in the next few minutes. Now, let's get the news, travel and weather where you are. Still to come, time is running out for We've been following former Royal Marines Commando Pen Farthing, who runs an animal shelter in Kabul and vowed not to leave Afghanistan unless his staff and their families can go with him. Tensions were high on Friday when the Taliban turned up to his house moments before he joined us on the show.
So that was a close call for Penn, and Penn's wife, Kaiser Marcus, managed, though, to escape Kabul airport, in the early hours of last Thursday. She's now landed safely in Oslo on what was astonishingly a near-empty flight. She's concerned now that time is running out for her husband.
36, still to come in the hot seat as one of the longest-running quiz shows, Mastermind, turns 50 next year. We're joined by new host Clive Myrie, and he has a question for us.